Okay, guys, it's game number 2. We have Cursed Hollow, our second map, but with an insta-ban on Abatha. The slug is out, no more maggots in this game. So Misfits denying the Abatha for now. We have Damascus Boys going up against them. It's a semi-final at the HGC 2017 European Qualifier. The first of 3. Misfits are in the lead with the 1-0. I'm Calder, with me is Tetcher. And yeah, let's see if Misfits can actually get another victory here, or if Damascus Boys in this best of 5 are able to tie the series.
And we were talking about before this draft started whether we will see any niche picks. And like we said, already banning out the Abatha is trying to deny one of those who is just so effective on this map due to its incredible size.
Yeah, like the bigger the map, the more value Abatha usually gets, because you can just simply soak at the opposite side of the map. Depends, of course, a little bit on how many globals your opponent has available. But with Damascus Boys banning out the ETC, they also put Misfits in a spot where, first of all, they have to think about picking up an early Muradin if they really want to. But on Cursed Hollow in particular, or like any other map, you can play with an early... Well, Malfurion is always a good pick. You can go early on into a Vala, into a Li Ming. Vala probably a little bit more dominant right now in the pick order that we have for a lot of these teams, since she's very versatile again with the builds, and adds also a lot of wave clear to the setup. But the Malfurion, it is Splendor, using some pretty sick silencers in Twilight Dreams in the last game. Damascus Boys weren't really too happy with that, so let's see what they are starting things off with. Wouldn't be too surprised for them to pick that Tyrael again if they get a chance to, since he of course gets added value thanks to his talents on this map.
Yeah, he is extra strong. You have some huge denial of those tributes. You have some huge boss control. This is one of, I believe, only two maps now with 2 bosses in the game. So just having that holy ground, you just get double the value because you have double the bosses to contest.
Yeah, and the Tigers early on picked again. So they played that in the last game. This is kind of the opening, or a similar opening to the one they had earlier. ETC, of course, in this set is banned out, but Damascus Boys still have a couple of options here going into the second pick. With Malfurion also banned, they have to think about heroes like Brightwing, which are very high prioritized on Cursed Hollow, and one of the most favorite healers at this point. Misfits will have the next 2 picks before we are going into the bans, so whatever you don't pick now, it has a chance of being banned out by your opponent, and the Damascus Boys are valuing the Muradin over Brightwing, as Misfits are apparently showing us our first Tracer game today.
Yeah, is it time? Is it time for the Tracer? They'll be giving up the potential of picking Johanna, as Damascus can just ban that out now.
Okay, now that we have Tracer Tacita, I mean, Tetcher as a UK boy, go for it.
No.
Do it.
Absolutely not.
Do it.
Is that a frog in a bubble?
There we go. Alright, so we have Tracer, Tacita, and Malfurion, and that's usually the moment in the draft where, when you are always like, why me? Especially in Hero League. So let's see how that's going to end up for them. The ban on Johanna, a bit of a tank joke against the Misfits. Nurok is already a happy panda, I suppose, right now. And there's the ban, as expected, against Brightwing.
Yeah, Nurok was actually trolling us in the in-game lobby. I don't know if you can see that, but the second the lobby came up, he insta-locked in Master Skin Gazlo. But very much not the case here, as that Tracer going to give them so much value here.
Oh, didn't you hear the new combo, Tracer, Gazlo, Kappa Kappa?
I heard the new combo of
insane
Gazlo
synergy.
I heard the combo of a Gazlo with cooldown reduction and Malfurion with all Innovate talents. And you basically have
disgusting.
Gazlo spam out bombs.
Great.
That's the reaction we expected. Tyrael, like you said, being locked in for Damascus Boys, giving them some good area control, like we said, and at least some protection from that Tracer.
Yeah, so they have the Tyrael, they have the Muradin right now, so a couple of extra shields, pretty tanky lineup for them as is. We have seen Brightwing being banned out. They can either now pick the healer at this point or just wait a bit longer and pick it as last, depending how worried they are about what Misfits is going to pick here. But still, we have a couple of great heroes still out there. We could see a Li Ming, for example, also being played, but this is a side in favor of Oriel first. The Misfits still need a frontliner. We could see a Chen at this point. We have, of course, Muradin, ETC, Johanna not available to them anymore. Tyrael also already gone. Stitches would be a hero that we have seen a couple of times, but the question is always how much synergy do you really get? Zarya for extra. This is just disgusting.
I heard you like shields.
This draft is absolutely disgusting. It's just catching Tracer at all is already annoying. Then having the Tacita for the shields, Zarya for the shields, Malfurion for the heals. With that, you can play Leoric solo. Usually I would say Leoric solo, nope. But with that lineup, I mean, he's not really solo. He has a Zarya there, but still.
Yeah, this is a tanky comp, basically relying on Tracer, so it's going to be a situation of trying desperately to kill Tracer while she sustains you forever. And the fact is, being killed by a Tracer, it usually takes a little bit. Unless she lands her bomb and the melee very quickly, it usually takes a little bit for Tracer to work you down, so it's very annoying, just like, I can do nothing about this, and I just have to watch you kill me.
Yeah, this is... Alright, there's a cooldown.
That'll help, that'll help.
It's not quite what I expected, I have to admit. But okay. Gul'dan, definitely with a lot of the poke. I mean, the positioning is going to be absolutely essential for him. If Leoric can get close to him and maybe lock him into an entomb, that would of course help them too, to take him down. But that is definitely the damage output that they need right now, in addition to what Tychus has. So he should be kind of safe if Tyrael Mirror didn't do their job well. But guys, it's a pretty cool setup for game number 2, so let's jump in. Cursed Hollow is our map, game number 2 in a best of 5 series between Misfits and Damascus Boys. A fork in a bubble! Alrighty. Oh wow, that was fast. Okay.
Yeah, we're off.
Game on! Oh dear. See if our overlay real quickly. If we have to change something. Nope, we don't. Sweet!
Yep. Conveniently putting themselves on the correct side, which is actually helpful.
Dartmok on the Tracer. New Rock band. From one shield bot to shield bot number 2. He's making his way through the ranks. He got promoted. Instead of Tacita, he's now playing Zarya. Congratulations, my friend. Game number 2, everybody. It is the semi-final. A best of 5 series between the Misfits and Damascus Boys. And whichever team takes the best of 5 is going to play in 2017's HGC League. To the left side, we have the Misfits with Blumby on Leoric, Dartmok on Tracer, Splendor on Malfurion, Hazorps on Tacita, and Nurok is playing Zarya. The German-Bulgarian team here in blue. As to the right side of the map in red, it is the Damascus Boys with Gnappe on Oriel, Eternal on Murden, Alex the Pro G on Tyrael, Remaballer on the Tychus, and Crosby is playing Gul'dan in this match. I'm hyped for this one, and Space Lord Leoric always gets me excited. What a beautiful skin.
Yep, lovely skin, no mount synergy in the slightest, but we do all like that mount, especially now that Tempest are back as Tempest.
Yeah, and the thing is, you don't really need the mount synergy if you have like a mount that supports esports.
Exactly, that's what we want. Really am looking forward to that Ballistics mount. A little bit sad it wasn't a Fnatic mount, because that was an impressive performance.
Yeah, I mean, like, we had a really nice run from Fnatic, but Ballistics, they played just absolutely fantastic at BlizzCon. But, well, we're not at BlizzCon yet. The next one is going to be in 2017, and we might see some of these boys playing there as well, depending on their performance in the league. Talking about their performance, up to the top lane, Dartmok and Hazorps are pressuring Remaballer a little bit. And Dartmok is trying to do what Tracers usually do, piss off the opponent's team.
Pretty much. They always try to put a little bit of pressure on as much as possible. And you mentioned it perfectly. Every team starts somewhere. One of these two teams right now could be your next Heroes of the Storm global champion mount.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people argued that Misfits should have been at BlizzCon instead of Fnatic, who just barely made it to BlizzCon. I think at the event itself, then Fnatic proved all of them, I don't want to say wrong, but proved that they are one of the strongest teams in the world. But right now, Misfits, of course, they want to secure their spot in HGC 2017. And right now, Nurok at the bot lane together with Splendor doing very well against 3 heroes here, even though they lost one of the towers already.
Yeah, they're trying to push it back as best as they can, putting on any damage as much as possible, while Tracer and Tastar continue to harass Remaballer in this top lane. Not going to get as much harassment as they will when they get Leech and Plasma, which is now. So now they can go a lot more aggressive.
Yeah, Dartmok is immediately doing that. Misses his ult though, but the second that Leeching Plasma kicks in, he's already on the job. Eats a couple of shots there, so does Malfurion, who falls at that bot lane against the 3. That's also going to push, of course, Nurok back, since he doesn't have the extra sustain with the help of Malfurion anymore. Both of the teams very aggressive on lanes. Eternal with another Stormbolt hit against Zarya, and he went into the perfect storm on level 1, so we are seeing him with a stacking process already getting 5 extra hits in. That's a 30 extra damage for a potential wombo later on.
Yep, so just allowing him to burst that little bit more here. The pressure continues onto the bot lane for the moment. The tribute is active, and so far, no one attempted to capture it, but a huge rotation from Misfits has come out here. No one's really doing it. Look at where Muradin is. He's waiting for his opportunity to go to Zario, and he's going to attempt to do it now with Dave and Crosby.
Yeah, that's another stack and another kill. Bam! And the one thing that we have also to point out when it comes to the stacking process, we're talking Gul'dan here, of course, who's by now at 15 stacks out of the 40 that he needs to complete his quest. Muradin himself, as mentioned before, is by now at 7 stacks for his perfect storm. When we're talking Oriel, we're seeing her with Swift Sweep going straight into the Majestic Spam. So no real focus on the heal ability just yet. But they are doing extremely well at the bot lane. Talking top lane on the other hand, of course, Darkmog and Tassadar did their job with the fort as well. Both of the teams taking one of them down as is. The tribute in the hands of of Misfits, the old My Insanity squad. And yeah, so far, both of the teams with a very aggressive setup here, not really focusing on any kind of fighting, they're just pushing lanes.
Yeah, we have been talking about stacking. The one hero who could be stacking here, who has decided against it, is Darkmog. Could have taken that untouchable on level 4. Doesn't want to take that risk, feels much more comfortable with the parting gift. The risk reward is very high with that Tracer. If you go for untouchable, the damage output is huge, but the parting gift is a lot more safe, a lot more sustainable. You don't have to rely on getting the takedowns to do it.
Yeah, Consume Soul taken, as highlighted a bit earlier, for good old Gul'dan, so using a bit of a different build than what we've seen in the past. At this point, the level 7 talent for Tassadar is finally allowing the pre-shielding. Eternal still looking for an opportunity to get a few Stormbolts in. Darkmog swapping away from this one, dodging it neatly. The Bursting Light with a cooldown reduction for Oriel. So both of the teams are finally starting to set up for potential team fights. And Blumby up at the top, interrupted as he chanced through the tribute, but both teams now aiming for the first real team battle in this game.
Yeah, Darkmog trying to come in from below. Eternal is there. Needs to be careful not to be stunned. So then they're going to try and turn in, but Hasselhoff does delay. Interrupted once again by the sword of Alex, who's been doing a good job with this, but Darkmog finds Eternal basically on its own, but Taika shows up as well. He's going to try and burst out. Eternal is dropped low. Reberballer going for the kill. The shield from Tass, trying to keep Darkmog alive. He's dropped low. He tries to escape, and Alex gets him over the wall.
Alex is taking revenge for Muradin. Nice kill. But 2 tributes now in the hands of the Misfits. They do an exceptional job so far in this game when it comes to the objective. We have in kills 1 against 3, but the experience is the same. We have now Fury now taking over the bot lane as the Siege Giants were pushing that in slowly. But Splendor is doing what he can to make sure that none of these towers is going to fall. But yeah, still pretty close, and it's going to force a fight as we are, wow, having a play for boss already before level 10 hits. Blumby is scouting it though, but will the Misfits be there in time? It's a little bit unlikely.
Blumby raining on the boss. He's playing a bit further back. We do see people coming, but Alex is positioned to try and slow the rotation. He did not slow Nurok though. Nurok coming in, drops the shield onto Alex, who's immediately knocked back. Boss guaranteed by the Damascus boys here, but the question is, can they all get out alive? No, Crosby is picked off here. So a kill for a boss, but this is giving the Damascus boys an opportunity to go for that tribute in the bot lane. But we're going to see a bit of contention coming out of Malfurion, and by the looks of it, the Auric.
Yeah, Malfurion's actually just trying to interrupt, I suppose, trying to go into position to Moonfire. And will delay, but also the problem is that ETC is going to be back in just a bit, and both teams are aiming for level 10. And he might even... Sorry, Gul'dan is of course back. ETC banned in this game. I'm not quite sure what I was talking about right now. Reberballer is back to business too, and still Tassadar at the top. They will have to give this up. They can't take it. It's 10 versus 10. There's just absolutely no way Tassadar can't cross that in time.
They're delaying it. They are to delay. They're continuing to delay this. Gul'dan's here as well. It's 5v4. Taz is on the way. But some indecision, some hesitation as opposed to some diving coming out of the Damascus boys has given Tass time to arrive.
Yeah, Damascus boys need to grow up and go for it before Tassadar is back, but they really waited way too long. They saw him top. They saw him. They had full vision, so I don't understand why they not aggressively try to force the fight. Now they have to take the 5 versus 5, which they can still win. Horrify is out. Blumby is dead. Could not use anything here. 5 versus 4, at least for now. And Eternal is jumping back into the line, trying to go for Splendor, and Malfurion is also falling. Great kills here. Damascus boys. I think I figured it out, actually. They waited until Tassadar is back so that they could kill more people.
Yes, given more people to kill.
It's the only explanation, Tetcher.
This is true. It's the only thing that could have possibly happened. Reberballer trying to push back Blumby, who has already come back to life here. He tried to delay a bit longer, but now he's very outnumbered. Is going to give that one up. And the tribute goes over to the Damascus boys, bringing it to 2 in favor of Misfits to 1 on the side of the Damascus boys.
Yeah, 5 versus 2, and Nurok double checking at the boss here. Alex actually moving in, jumping back to his sword there, and making sure that he is still poking a little bit, and sees, of course, that boss is now being attacked. The rest of the team is starting the rotation. There is still a camp up at the top lane. Well, one lone siege giant that is trying to make a bit of a play there, so that would eventually help with the push a bit. But they already abandoned the idea of taking boss and instead just went for the night camp here.
Yeah, picking that up pretty quickly. And they are in a good position. Tracer trying to get some damage onto Alex here, trying to chase him down, rewinds out. Doesn't want to get caught out of position. She did take Quantum Spike on level 10, so that 10% extra damage to try and burst down Meridian Arterial in these particular scenarios. But for now, just playing safe. This, at the moment, like you said before, they are down in terms of kills, but they are even in terms of levels. So Misfits just still in the game thanks to the huge map control they showed earlier on.
Another tribute on the map will force another fight. Both of the teams on level 12, no 13 talents yet. But you can see that this camp is going to get value because Damascus boys have to go for it. They need to go to the top. They can't just simply sit there and say like, well, we are going to defend this first and then we fight for the tribute. They need to take it now or they will be cursed, and that means the camp in the mid lane is getting sick value. And up here at the top lane right now, big fight happening with Commandeer Odin already used in the back line. Always Crosby on his Gul'dan, poking with a corruption. Does not have the talent completed just yet, but they are pushing the opponent back. They lose the fort in the mid lane though.
Yeah, fort in the mid lane will go down to the minions. There's the Entomb grabbing both of the assassins here. The Horrifier's use sanctification will cancel a bit of that out. And Alex gets silenced by the Twilight Dream, being forced down here, and that is 2 kills to 0. Rema may join them. Nape is definitely going to join them, just buying time at this point. But Tyker's going down as well to Tracer.
Yeah, Rema Baller is gonna fall here eventually, and that is Darkmoke just dodging everything, going in for the kill. And that's 4 kills. They get the tribute, they get the fort in the mid lane for free, and they can even time the tribute, which is exactly what they're doing the entire time here. Darkmoke is still on Eternal, and Eternal just can't do anything. He dodges the Stormbolt. Eternal might fall here. Zarya is already on the way to the right, and I don't see him surviving this. He's popping the Avatar, but now it's Tassadar back as well. The ult is in. Down he goes. 7 kills against 5. This is looking great for the Misfits.
Yeah, they are looking really strong here, and even though they have some of the biggest AoE abilities in the game, the Horrify and the Sack both dropped in one fight there, and they still weren't able to kill anyone. They weren't able to knock down Darkmoke, who was just murdering Tychus in the background. They weren't able to even kill Malfurion, who just Twilight Dreamed them.
That Twilight Dream, once again, Splendor is so on point with these ults. We've seen it on the last map, Sky Temple, and we've seen it here again. Now we have at least 13 versus 13 talents. The stacking process on the side of Muradin is, by the way, going really well, but that doesn't really help him. They so far weren't able to capitalize on the wombo combo potential and hammering someone down. Crosby not reaching the 40 stacks for his corruption is also not really helping them in this case. So they need to complete these talents so that they have a bit of boost in their strength in these team fights. It's sorely needed. They need to win one, and they need to do it soon or they will lose the game.
Yeah, they have to do something. The boss they will get here will just take a little bit of pressure off the top lane that is pushed up quite nicely. But eventually, with the next tribute coming up, if they can grab that and another one, then they're going to be able to try and counter this. But for now, they're just on the back foot permanently until they can either get a catch or a tribute.
And one of the big differences that we are seeing here already is that this boss, this golem, is actually going to be escorted towards the keep, whereas the one up at the top is completely left alone, which means it's gonna completely fail at the first keep. Yes, it's gonna, at the first fort. It's gonna get a little bit of value. You might even like hammer it down with a bit of luck there, but it's just not enough to close the gap in experience. And that level 16 talent that we have is such a huge difference now. Unstoppable, nice cleanse here also on the side against Zarya. Well done. Holy Ground is not in play yet, but we have the Sanctification on the ground as all of a sudden Silas kicks in, and Tyrael is dead again. Trying to get some explosion damage, but Pecha, this is a disaster for the Damascus boys here.
Yeah, that was not good for Alex. He dropped the Sank with his team, keeping them alive, but was then rooted into the Buster, and that such was burst down. Just a pure disaster for the Damascus boys. Eternal failing his jump over the base there, over the keep now. He's in full retreat. Blumby trying to drain off him, but that Avatar will keep him alive for now. Dartbolt going super deep, gives a parting gift on the way out, and is shielded by Zarya, and Tassadar has a big shield. And it's going on to Eternal. Extra 10% from that ultimate gives a huge shock to Eternal. The keep is dropped, but the defense is made.
39,000 damage on the side of Tracer. Darkmook doing really well in this game. 36 for Tigers here still. Up to the top lane, the fort, it has fallen. 8 kills against 5. We have still a 3-level lead for the Misfits. They are making it look easy here.
Yeah, they are just showing pure control of this match at the moment, showing why they have been considered to be easily in the top 2 at this point, top 3 teams in Europe. And they want that title back. They don't want to be top 2 or 3. They want to be top 1, and they're showing that they can still be dominant.
So 18 stacks by now on Muradin with a Storm Ball. We have 39 stacks on the Corruption Talent for Gul'dan, meaning he only needs one more hit and then he will get that. They are setting up a bit of a trap here, hoping for someone to move through. Not 100% certain where that would happen.
No, I don't.
Top
there's no boss. There's bots pushed.
I think they got lost.
Just like, are you sure this is our base? Are you sure this is the one we should be defending?
No, I really feel like they were just hoping for someone to actually move down to maybe clear the way.
Well, I guess
for
the
anything.
enemy would expect it, because we didn't.
Yeah, they couldn't make a play for the tribute anyways. I mean, jokes aside for a moment, they couldn't really go for the tribute since, of course, they are still a talent down, so there's no way they make that play. And this was just a bit of a desperation move. They said, like, what else are we going to do? Let's try and set a trap and see if we can make something happen. Alex in tune, but he still has Sank up, so he can use that whenever he wants to. The keep is, of course, a goner. Can't save that. Just way too much of a lead right now that we have for the Misfits here. Commandeer Odin had to be popped too. Darkmook still just zipping around the entire time, making just one play after another. Dodging skills all over the place. And without the level 16 talent, there is just absolutely no way for the Damascus boys to really take a fight here.
Yeah, all but 2 heroics dropped on the side of Damascus boys, and everyone on the side of Misfits is at full health after only dropping 2 heroics of their own. This is disastrous looking for the Damascus boys right now, but Alex going to get good holy ground, trying to separate out anyone. Malfurion drops the Twilight Dream after ice blocking himself for safety. Alex gets focused, good Aegis to block the bomb this time. Zone expulsion zone, those zones them into the Entomb counter.
Did you see that 3-man Entomb? Blumby says just like denied. We have that ice block first, dodge the stun on Muradin's jump, and now it's 4 heroes dead. Muradin the only survivor. A 3-man Entomb by Blumby. These guys are playing an absolutely sick match, and it's going to be crowned with a victory here in game number 2. Eternal is just lasered down into the ground. The GG is dropped as we have Misfits taking, of course, game number 2, and therefore a 2-0 lead in the best of 5 series in the semi-final here. 1 map win away from qualifying for the league in 2017. Incredibly well played. GG, the Misfits 2-0 versus the Damascus boys here at the best of 5 in the semi-final.